We are unmuted.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
It seems sometimes sitting is easier. Okay. It's crazy how quiet it is in here now with that fan. How loud it is.
Would you like to try something?
You're noticing things that you probably wouldn't notice.
Oh, no, I would notice that. I've got a real bad headache right now too, so
Oh,
that makes it even worse.
Okay, well, we'll see how this does for you tonight.
Yeah.
Use this
My
one.
file is-
It's really nice.
I lay on the floor when I do my meditation.
Lay on the floor.
Yeah, that's the easiest for me.
Okay. We'll do some of that tonight too. Oh, do you have some yoga mats?
Right here I do,
Okay.
a stack right
Might come
there.
in handy too.
I almost brought one today.
Maybe.
I know if I gotta clean it up before I use it.
I had one or two when I was on my
Well.
mom's house.
We can get started. Diane can join us if when she comes.
Sounds good. We're started.
Okay. We're gonna start with sitting meditation as we usually do. I brought my bell tonight. This is just kind of a traditional way of starting and ending a meditation session. I think it kind of lets us know that we're in a special time and place. So we begin by finding our meditation posture. We feel ourselves firmly planted on our seat, connected with the floor. We feel our hands. Resting. And we feel our back, as I like to say, in a dignified position. It's straight, but not too straight. This allows us to be both relaxed and alert at the same time. This will be about 10 minutes guided meditation. Wearing my mask again this week because I'm feeling good, but still feel a little cautious recovering from my illness. Begin by feeling our body in this position, supported by the earth, and briefly scan our body for any areas of tension that might be there and see if we can let them relax. Perhaps around our eyes or forehead, our neck and shoulders, and just let them drop. Each out-breath is relaxing. Each in-breath is energizing, so they balance each other. We bring attention to the sensation of our breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. Wherever we feel it, just noticing. Maybe saying gently to ourselves to remind us, in, out. Notice the break between the in-breath and the out-breath. And then the pause before the next in-breath. Perhaps we notice it most at the nostrils. Maybe it's kind of cool air coming in and warm air going out. Maybe a tickling sensation. Or the rise and fall of the chest. Or the belly, wherever we notice it most. And that area may change. That's okay. Just noticing in and out. We can have our eyes closed or gently gazing down forward. And whenever our attention wanders away from the breath, as it will, we notice that. Thinking. And come back to the breath. Whenever we notice our mind has wandered and bring it back, that's a moment of mindfulness. That's what we're looking at here. Just noticing. It's easy to find fault with ourselves if our mind wanders. We think, I should be staying with the breath. No, it's okay. That's what minds do. When we notice that, coming back to the breath, that's what we're after. It can be so restful, just letting our busy minds rest for a little while. Nothing to think about, no plans to make, no memories to go back on, just to be here sitting with each breath. So we're staying with the breath, and we're also learning to let go of thoughts. Some of them, those good thoughts, we want to cling to. We like those thoughts. Oh, I got that meal planned, and I know I can add this and this. And that will come back, but for right now, we're learning to let go of that and just come back to the breath. Thoughts and plans will be there for us when we're done with our meditation. You may also notice certain body sensations. Maybe we feel restless or achy. Maybe we have a pain somewhere. And it's okay to attend to that. And then see if you can let it go to the background and come back to the breath. We may feel an itch or a stretch somewhere that we want to move, but we can just notice that. Keep our position, keep our posture, come back to the breath. Very often those sensations will fade. You notice certain emotions like boredom or guilt for being here instead of somewhere else. That's okay, we just notice that. Oh, that's how I feel right now. It's okay. And let that go and come back to the breath. Rising and falling. Just sitting here. And relax and notice how we feel. How's your headache doing, Sue? Any
It's a little
change?
better.
Okay. Welcome to week 2 of our class. I forgot to give you a handout last week, so I will remember to give you that with a couple of other handouts at the end of class tonight. And we have 2 new meditations, so we'll be here a little while. Hope that's all right. Depends on how much we have to say, too. Well, I would like to hear how you're doing, what your practice was like this past week, what goals you set, how you did, any experiences you had, questions you had about the reading, anything that came up for you. With a CD in the back of it. Maybe some people don't have a CD player anymore, but some of the books instead have a place to go to find it on your computer.
Yeah, one of the girls gave me the
Website or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it on my
Okay.
paper here.
Mm-hmm.
I can give it to you,
Okay.
and then we can download it on our computer.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, cause I've got a puppy in the house now. It's hard to find a spot and a time,
Right.
cause he's wants attention.
Oh, yeah.
But I did get some in, I did fit some in.
These are meditations that focus on being aware of our body. So much of what we can understand about ourselves, we can learn from just being attentive with sensations in our body. This includes the 5 normal senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. But it also involves a lot of the other senses in our body, like balance, or weight, fullness, emptiness, things like that. And we find that becoming aware of our body helps put us in better contact with our emotions and our thoughts as well. So these are a couple of specific meditations that are focused on the body, and for some people, they much prefer these over the sitting with the breath. I'm going to continue to encourage you to try the sitting with the breath, but some people like these much better. So the first one is a kind of easy yoga, or I like to call it mindful stretching or mindful movement. How many of you have done or do some yoga?
I have done it.
So if you have your own yoga practice, you don't have to do what I'm telling you, but this is just some very easy yoga that I learned in mindfulness-based stress reduction class. And it's important while doing this to pay attention to your body, to your limits, what you can do, what you can't do, don't overdo it. And the goal here is not so much how well you do these poses. It is the attention you bring to each pose. So we're learning to pay attention to our body. And this can be easier than the sitting meditation because we're doing something, okay? So that's helpful. I find this particularly helpful for me early in the morning before my sitting meditation because it kind of wakes up my body and my mind before I do my sitting. It can also be very calming if you're restless, or on the other hand, if you're really sleepy, it can wake you up. So these easy yoga poses can be very helpful. I have a handout at the end of class I'll give you that kind of gives you a summary of the poses that we're going to do. You can do lying down poses. Tonight I'm going to show you standing poses. So you can stand up and some of these poses have some balance required, so for some of us it may be helpful to stand behind our chair so we have a support for the balance poses. So we begin by just feeling ourselves standing, feeling our arms hanging down, feeling the weight through our feet. And we're kind of, once again, kind of a dignified standing pose, but relaxed. This is traditionally called mountain pose. Just standing. So you can do standing meditation, just feeling this. It's wise generally to keep our eyes open during this. There's some of it we can close our eyes, but either way, especially the balance poses, no way I can do those with my eyes closed. And we begin by just swinging our arms forward and back. And notice where we feel that, perhaps in the shoulders, in the sockets. Maybe we feel the breeze on our hands or our legs. And make the arc bigger. Nothing to it, just feeling our arms. Maybe feeling how our balance changes with the forward and back. And let them rest. Now we bring our arms up to the side and stretch way up. Feel the stretch and breathe. And down. On an in-breath, up again. And breathe. Wherever you feel it, just notice the feeling. And transferring our weight to our right foot and bring our right arm up, stretch, and kind of lift the left foot a little bit. Breathe and down. Weight onto the left foot and lift the left arm up. Stretch. Breathe. Toe touch on the right. Feel the stretch. Breathe. And down. Both arms up, palms together. Feel the hands touching each other. Stretch up. Bend over to the right. And where do you feel that stretch? In your arms, in your back, in your hips, wherever. Notice the feeling. And down. back up, and bend to the left. Back up, and down. Now we're going to work on the shoulders and neck. Bring the shoulders up and down. Up and down. And you'll notice a lot of us carry a lot of tension in our shoulders and necks. And once in a while, just to do this during the day, just say, oh, I'm going to try that. Oh, so relaxing. Wow. Shoulders back, shoulder blades together, and then shoulders together in front. In breath on the way back, out breath on the way in. One more time, back, and together. Flex our neck down, chin toward our chest. Bend our head and neck to the right. Feel the stretch. Feel it on the left side of your neck. Feel it on the right side. Feel it inside by the throat. Wherever you feel it. Breathe. And back to center. Chin down, bend to the left. And forward. And back to mountain pose. Make sure I'm not missing any. Now a balance pose. Bring our arms up and put our weight onto our right foot and just lift our left foot up a little bit. Maybe bring it up toward our knee and feel the balance, feel the imbalance. Feel the stretch. And down. Weight on our left foot, arms up. Lift that right foot up. And breathe. Feel the sensations in your foot. Feel the sensations in your shoulders, wherever. And down. The next one is called the sumo pose. We put our hands on our hips. We put our feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart and toes pointing out. On an out breath, squat down. Breathe in and out. And on in breath, come back up. Breathe. Down. Breathe. Feel the stretch. And up. Down. Breathe. Up. And one more. Hands on hips, feet shoulder width apart, some twist moves. Twisting our whole body to the right
Oops.
and back to center. And to the left and back to center. Once again to the right. And see if you can stretch it a little bit more to the right. And more yet. Feel the stretch. And back to center. Twist to the left. More. Feel the stretch. And back to center. Let our arms hang down and twist to the right and let our arms swing a little bit. And to the left. Let them swing more. And go back and forth, kind of a silly one. Just let the arms swing. Feel it. Where do you feel it? And relax. Ragdoll pose. This is just kind of letting our body fall down forward. Now, if you get dizzy or if you have blood pressure problems, be cautious with this. So we begin by letting our head and neck go down, and our shoulders and arms, and our upper back, and we gradually, just like we're all loose, like a rag doll. Shoulders are loose, the back, it bends forward, the knees are relaxed, maybe bent a little bit, and we just let our body bend down forward. Keep breathing. And then gradually come up. And we notice the feeling of our back straightening like a stack of blocks. Let's do that one more time. Just relaxing down forward. Up. And one more balance pose. Hands on our hips. This is the tree pose. We put our weight on our right foot. We put our left ankle, left heel to the right ankle at a 90-degree angle. Left heel to the right ankle. And bring our hands up and just feel that. And if you'd like to try lifting your left foot off the floor, stretch and feel the balance. Breathe. And back down. Prayer pose. And down. Hands on hips, right heel on the left ankle at a 90-degree angle, palms together, And try lifting your right foot. And back down, prayer pose. Certainly not necessary to lift your foot off the ground, but that's good too. Okay, take our seats. Any questions or comments? What did that feel like? It's not hard.
Find the time to do it.
Make the time to do it.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
5 minutes, that's all it takes.
Mhm.
So keep that in mind. There's also, on the handout, it tells you about a guided meditation through UW Health. One of my teachers takes you through it. She does it very deliberately. It's about 45 minutes long the way she does it, but it's very good. So if you have time to take a look at that, it's great. The next body awareness meditation I'd like to do with you is called the body scan. This can be done seated. It is most often and probably most effectively done lying down. So we have enough space and we have enough pads here. If you feel comfortable lying down, do. You may find it helpful to take one of the cushions to put your head on. You can do it seated as well. So when I do this in the prisons, we don't lie down usually. We stay in our chairs because it's a lot more conducive there. But it's really nice to do lying down. And this is so relaxing. And this can be a really nice way to fall asleep. But our objective right now is once again to stay relaxed but alert, not falling asleep if we can. And it's merely paying attention to specific areas of our body in sequence. There's not much movement involved in this. So we begin by just feeling ourselves supported on the ground. I'm just going to stay up like this for purposes of you hearing me for a minute. Some teachers, Sharon, in the book, in the next chapter you read, does it from head to toe. I learned it from toe to head, which is how I'm going to guide you right now. Either way is okay. So begin by paying attention to our left foot. Any sensations in the foot? Notice the toes. Do they feel tingly, warm, cool? Perhaps there's no sensation at all. Just notice, how do our toes feel right now in the left foot? Now bring attention to the bottom of the left foot and the heel. Feel the contact with the floor, the weight. Just noticing how the left foot feels. Notice the top of the left foot and the ankle. And we'll gradually move up. We'll notice the left lower leg, both the shin and the calf. Notice contact with the floor. Notice any stretching or discomfort. Just noticing. And the left knee. Any feeling there? The left upper leg, the thigh. Now moving down to the right foot. Feel the toes of the right foot. Sticking out in space, how do they feel? The bottom of the right foot and the heel. And the top of the right foot and the ankle. And the right lower leg. And the right knee. Just noticing. Maybe we notice a difference from one leg, between one leg and the other. Maybe one foot feels heavier. The right upper leg. And notice the sacrum, the sits bone, the butt on the surface, the weight there. Moving up to the lower back. Perhaps you notice a little arch in the back. Where does the back contact the floor? Up to the upper back and shoulder blades. Just noticing what it feels like. And if you notice something, it's okay to name it, but we don't have to get hung up on what it feels like. But if we say, oh, pressure or aching, that's okay. Now down to the pelvis in front, the genitals and the lower belly. Notice the belly rising and falling with our breath. Any other sensations in the belly? Fullness, emptiness? We'll find that the belly is one of the places that we feel a lot of things. Just learning to become sensitive to it. The lower ribs. Feel them moving with the breath. Feel the chest rising and falling. Notice both hands resting. What do the fingers feel like? What are they touching? What does the surface feel like? Notice the rest of the hand, the palm and the back of the hand. And the wrists. And the forearms. Notice the contact of the arms, the hands with the surface. Notice the elbows. and the upper arms. And breathing. Breathing in and out of each area. Notice the neck, back of the neck, the front of the neck, the inside, the throat and windpipe. Notice the chin sticking out in space. Any feeling there? Coolness, warmth, itching. The cheeks, any feeling there? The nose sticking out in space, the air coming in and out. What about the surface of the nose? And the eyes, the eye sockets, the areas around the eyes. And the forehead. And the jaw. If there's any tension there, see if you can breathe it out. The side of the head and the ears. The back of the head, feeling it resting on the surface. Up to the top of the head. And take a nice breath. Breathe in and breathe it right out through the top of the head. Kind of scan the whole body right now. Notice any particular areas that want our attention. Just feel that. Breathing in and out. Just noticing. And when we're ready, we can relax, come back to a normal sitting posture. And notice how this feels. Any comments on, questions on the body scan? For many people, this is their favorite meditation. My grandson Zane loves this one. He's been a wrestler and he just notices all the different sensations in his body. He loves this one. So in the coming week, I'll ask you to read the next week in the book, week 2, which is about body awareness. Sharon talks about the body scan and some other things. In fact, paying attention to our body is so important. We're going to do this, another couple of body awareness exercises next week. Walking meditation.
I did try that.
Rose remembers that from last time.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that I appreciated your cards you handed me last week that talked about the stresses in your life, the primary stressor, and how you deal with it, and how you feel about that. And from all my 3 different classes, there were 5 patterns that I noticed are really very common. Relationships is a big stressor for many of us. And week 6 has got some really good things on relationships. It's about mindful listening and mindful speaking. But of course, a lot of it is emotional. We're worried about our relationship. We're not doing it right. They're not doing it right. So we'll be getting into that. Stress at work was a big one, either on the job, at our tasks at home, or at school. And same thing once again there. Putting the pressure on ourselves to get things done, or being criticized. And so we'll have times with that, particularly weeks 7 and 8, the optional ones at the end will be very helpful with that. Some people are particularly dealing with illness, and we'll get into that, pain also, and anxiety. So those were the 5 common themes that I saw, and we'll be sure to be answering those. And as we work through the class, if you have questions or particular concerns, talk to me. You can call me, or you can stay after class and we can talk, because things will come up. Sometimes, instead of feeling better, you might feel worse for a while because you're noticing stuff. Something comes up. And that's not unusual. Okay, here's these handouts. First one, if you didn't get the handout for last week, pick this up, please. This is about getting started. Did you get one? I think some people stayed after class and maybe got one. No? You all need one? Good.
Yeah, I need to.
Oh,
She's
you
got
got
one?
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go through that with you a little bit right now, because I think it's very helpful. Number 1, environment, and we've talked about that. So try to find a time of day that works for you and a place that works for you, and see if you can be in that time and place uninterrupted for the amount of time you set. A lot of people will set a timer. So if your goal right now is 5 minutes, set a timer for 5 minutes and just do your meditation during that time. Whatever happens, be with it, and when the 5 minutes is up, well, you did it. Of course, my goal for you is to try to be doing 10 minutes every day. So keep working on it. If you live with others, pets, people usually will cooperate. You say, I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes, don't bother me. And, usually people will say, okay, I say, you can be walking around, just don't talk. It was particularly hard for me a few years back when my mother-in-law lived with me and she had I Love Lucy on in the next bedroom. What I've been talking about so far is mainly what we call formal practice. That's time we set aside for these meditations. So the first paragraph is about these formal practices. Just do it as well as you can. Don't have big expectations. Just be patient with yourself and keep coming back to it. Whatever it is, it will be. the main thing is just do it. Just sit there or whatever it is. If it's painful, stay with it. Then the next part is informal practice, which is really helpful. This helps sustain our formal practice. So find times during the day when you can just pay attention to what you're doing. So brushing teeth is a good one. When we brush our teeth, lots of times we'll be thinking about what we're going to do next and the rest of the plans for the day. That'll come. Keep bringing our attention back just to the act of brushing our teeth, the feeling of the rush in our mouth, the sound of the water, the taste, the motions. Slow it down. You can do that with a lot of other activities. Climbing the stairs, just notice each step as you walk up. Just slowing down and noticing what we're doing is kind of powerful. I mean, just ordinary things like this all of a sudden become exciting. Washing the dishes, you know, notice the bubbles, notice the feel, the warmth. So, take some time just to notice mindfulness, just keeping aware of what's going on. And number 3 is good. Throughout the day, come back to your senses, noticing hearing, smelling, and so forth, and sensations. The breath is really powerful in bringing us back to the present moment. When we're really distracted, just taking the time to notice a couple breaths. Huh. Okay, I'm here right now. Wow. These handouts, I'll get up. This is the yoga postures we just did. And it also has some lying down poses, which maybe sometime we'll try, but we're just going to work on the standing poses for now. And as you notice on the top, it says if you go to uwhealth.org/mindfulness, they will lead you through them. Most important though, at the bottom of the page, remember, listen to your body, accept your limits, keep an attitude of kindness toward yourself. More important than the effort to the poses is the attention you bring to the poses. Keep a non-judgmental acceptance of whatever you experience. I have one more that I'm not going to go through with you. This is a little longer explanation of the body scan from John Kabat-Zinn, one of the pioneers with this. So take your time at home if you'd like to read that. In a moment, we'll close with a sitting meditation, but we have time to talk now. So I'm asking that you try to schedule a time during the day. Pick whatever meditation you like. If you want to try the body scan this week and nothing else, do that. Or if you want to do the yoga or the sitting meditation or a combination, try to take at least 10 minutes a day to just do these. If you can do it more than once a day, even better. If you have time, I think that informal meditation is so good. Just once in a while during the day, say, I'm just going to notice things for a little bit. Take a breath and just notice how your body feels. Notice the sounds around you. And read the next chapter, pages 77 to 105. And we'll meet again next week. We'll close with a sitting meditation. Find our posture and feel our body. Notice the feeling of each in and out breath. Just sitting and breathing. Something takes our attention away from the breath, whether it be a sound, body sensation, a thought, an emotion. Notice it, come back to the breath. Thank you for your practice. Did I send you an email this past week? I think I might have put that, I'm not sure what I had in there, but one of the things in there is if you're on Facebook and you want to check out my weekly post on there called Mindful Moment, it's just experiences mainly that I have or insights in my meditation practice that I like to share. So I started off doing it on the Mindfulness group page, but then it looked like Facebook wanted to charge me for that, so now I just have it on my personal page, which it probably reaches more people anyway, so.
So do we have to send you like a friend request or something to?
That would help.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I should send you all friend requests, but why don't you send it to me, okay?
Okay, cause I saw that in that email, so I went to your personal page today and I'm like, yeah, you had a whole bunch there that I never even saw.
Okay, yeah, I would
Okay.
like to be your friend.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I will do that.
Good. Okay, see you next week. Thanks, Glennie.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
both of you.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep your cards for now. I'll return them to you later, if that's all right. And as Joanne said, that you want to find the
Oh, yes.
place, it's workman.com/realhappiness. To find the guided meditation.